Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Tonight we have another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards. Excuse me. Hong Kong House of Cards Major Edition. Arthur is taking Jason to go with him out to visit the Doom ship because Dmitri Dragomir has something he wants to talk to him about and apparently got a visit from something known as the Machine. Arthur will be showing up with Jason, as Jason will be having a very despondent and depressed looking Proteus driving the bus, the short bus.
Is it really going to be called the short bus from now on?
No, it's not. It's
but
driving the Mage-mobile to the place in question.
Would you guys be affected by the wards as you drive up? I would assume. You're not vampires, so you're not going to encounter the force field. But
what would the wards? I mean, I'd never read the wards. What did they do?
What we did is we basically set up a mind entropy effect, level 2, data 2 to make it cover the area. It's a combination of making the area easily forgettable and like unobtrusive. It kind of like makes your attention drift a little bit, and also there's generally an avoidance thing. Like you just like without knowing it, you're subtly going to skirt the area. You find an urge like, oh, maybe I should just take a right-hand turn and go away from that area. And mixed with entropy, which is basically saying little things will happen to make you have reasons not to be there.
All right, in that case, yeah, it will affect the spirit of driving. So Arthur's going to need to make a willpower roll, and Jason, I need you to roll Proteus. Give him he can manifest. Give him a 4 essence.
We got 5 on the effect for this thing, and 4 on the duration. So I don't know what that makes the difficulty or how that translates.
Okay. So neither Arthur nor Proteus can make their way to the Doom ship and end up driving off.
So they basically like drive like, wait a minute, we were going somewhere. Wait, we were going to visit. Okay, I gotta hear this. I want to hear how this interaction plays out.
So
you have his number.
Arthur's gonna look at Proteus and say, "Where were we going?" Gonna look at Jason. Do you remember what we were supposed to be doing? Roll willpower for Jason. Alright, that's better with that 10 and that 9 in there. You remember what we're supposed to be doing.
Fucking talking to the major, something about some spirit.
Arthur's gonna roll. Actually, Arthur's gonna roll pure intelligence because this is him remembering, and he does have keen-edged mind as a spec.
Yay! Finally a use for that one.
And oh yeah, we need to go here. So he's gonna direct Proteus back to where they were going. And now another willpower roll. I need you to roll another essence roll.
Poor Proteus. Just like, look, why are you making me go there? There's nothing there.
Alright, so Arthur and Proteus get lost again. Weren't we supposed to...
I'd say once...
What are we supposed to be doing again?
I think once Jason has gotten past the ward once, he's good for right now. Would that make sense?
I'm gonna roll
it was him remembering what we were going to do.
Oh shit! Well, he got 4 successes just now.
Yeah, you got 4 successes, so you're able to be unaffected by that haze. However, the person driving, was that for Proteus or was that for Jason?
That was Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember what we're supposed to be doing. However, the person driving and the person giving the directions have both lost.
This should be kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Jason's just gonna be like, Proteus, turn around, go back. I know what we're doing.
Arthur's gonna get a text.
Arthur's going to attempt to, yeah. Arthur's like, yeah, I know where we need to go. Let's go. We need to go this way. And
okay, go ahead.
all right, go ahead with your text because he'll get the text before he hits the ward again.
Basically saying if you guys are on your way yet.
And roll willpower essence.
Yay!
One closer, but still not enough. Arthur forgets where they're going again.
Come on, Proteus, save us. Nope. Okay, but you have the text now. You have the text.
Yeah.
You have
Arthur looks down at the text and says, "Are we supposed to go see Dimitri?"
I love this war.
Arthur.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Arthur, we are.
Rolling memory again. One success. Oh yeah, I know where we need to go. So we turn back around.
I would like to point out, if this is how it's affecting one of the stronger mages in the city, two of the stronger mages, plus their powerful familiar, what the fuck chance does the Sabbat have?
Wasn't that the point?
He's not the strongest around.
No, he's not.
Fair
Sal's
enough.
the strongest.
DeSalle would be like, oh, that's cute.
No, the thing is that you'd piss off Sal and you rip the ward down.
Oh, we don't want that.
And
can you prime sight or awareness that there is a ward? That might help you.
If Arthur can, well, that just
happened.
If Arthur could remember, but roll.
Oh my god!
Roll Proteus' essence again.
Dimitri's just standing there on the deck, just waiting, like, come on, guys!
Alright, Proteus is able to get past, but Arthur looks confused as hell.
And then you're within the range, you should be able to get an awareness roll or prime sight or something.
I'll
It's
roll
a pretty well crafted thing.
Watch the weaving.
Tiger said it took the form of like a mixture of like hypertech and firewalls, basically. That's what it looks like.
It looks like
Arthur,
an old 90s representation of a firewall they'd be in like a cyberpunk movie.
Wonderful.
And there's the thing is, there's two layers. There's the mental haze, which I guess could manifest as like sort of a fog thing, but then there's also the firewall itself. The firewall has nothing to do with the mind effect. The firewall is actually that's a different thing. That's actually there. There's an element of spirit attached to it, or dimensional science. It's basically warning anyone inside if a bane or other entropic resonance spirit enters the area. It would just alert them. And it also, there's something more complicated there, but I'll leave that for if you actually score any successes on it.
All right.
But the spirit part should be damned easy for you to figure out.
Yeah.
It's just an alarm.
Arthur does have entropy, so he's able to recognize entropic words too.
And I should ask, is there any vitae in your vehicle?
No.
Very good. I'm not going to get in trouble with Proteus.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Arthur just looks around and he's just like, that's cute. They're playing at my job. Interesting.
Why are we
What'd you say?
What are we talking about?
Oh no.
Like, I get why we're talking to him, but fucking...
I don't know. He wanted to talk to me about something, and last time I came here, he showed me freaking head in a jar.
I haven't even been here yet. He used to
Yeah,
keep
this is the new place. Apparently, when you piss off the Sabbat and they have somebody who's a tracker, you can't stay in the same place.
Stopped me.
Yeah. Alright, so they're gonna pull up and Arthur's gonna get out.
Okay. By the way, how many successes did you score on Watch the Weaving?
One success.
Okay, then all you know is that it's an alarm, but it might look like it has other shit on it, but with one success you probably can't tell anything more than that. Does that sound fair, Tiger?
No, I'd have to look up how Watch the Weaving works.
Okay, well, whatever. Alright, so, Dimitri's standing on top next to the top of the gangplank. He just kind of waves a little bit. Took you guys a little while.
Arthur points to the air.
Oh, sorry, that's new.
No warning. Be preferable.
I might be able to key you guys in for next time. That way you don't have to have any trouble with that.
Good.
So
I can respect you trying to protect this place, considering what you guys have done. But when you invite people over,
yes, it was not intentional, I assure you. It's somewhat new. I actually didn't have anything to do with that portion of the wards. I would have to ask for a little assistance on tinkering with it. Either Oscar or Castle King would be able to do that. But the other portion won't affect you, fortunately, unless either you joined the staves. He just kind of like chuckles.
join the what?
Staves.
Yeah, no.
Jason just kind of checks his pulse.
Nope, you're good. You wouldn't. You probably wouldn't have gotten in here if you did. He kind of points like towards the air and stuff where you would have seen the firewall. It's a bit of an entry level thing, and it's a little crude for my tastes. But I tried to key it so that if anyone with that curious type of materialized energy that flows through them, it's in their blood, I guess you could say. Anyone with that is essentially, if they aren't turned away by the fog, they're going to be walking straight into a force field, which is not a simple option, but it will keep them out and alert us that someone's trying to breach. At least that's the intent. We haven't tested it. I'd rather not have to test it.
Just do me a favor and don't invite any of the staves over here while that system is active.
Oh, I wouldn't, trust me. Yeah, not even at the moment. Not even Becker knows where we are.
Are you guys having a rough patch?
Not as far as I'm aware. I haven't spoken with her since we dropped off the. Well, yeah. Suffice to say, we haven't spoken since then. I think she was a little miffed about how the truck arrived on her doorstep. But my fault for not planning things properly, I suppose. In any case, well, I should probably take you inside and show you what was going on. I sent a message to Jason. I know I didn't have a chance to tell you, but we had a visit here not that long ago from some sort of spirit entity. It said it was a representative. It wasn't the actual spirit itself. It represented something called the Machine.
And with that, Arthur is going to delve into his spirit lore.
It's a direct line to the spirit lore. Watch Proteus makes a roll and just knows everything.
Well, hot damn.
I think you did
Look
good.
at that. Look at that jam. All right, Tiger, you research the spirit. Give him the notes.
Okay. Alright. The machine is an aspect of the Weaver. Generally in with the technocracy, Iteration X especially for obvious reasons. Sometimes it's pretty cool with other like traditionals, usually Aetherites and the like. Pretty much the personification of, you guessed it, the machine, thought to inhabit the realm of Autochthonia. In fact, it's usually thought that that is its home and a part of it, pretty much, and it usually manifests as just moving bits of technology or stuff like that.
Yay!
Also, pattern spiders. Its bird is pattern spiders.
Awesome!
Brett, I didn't realize this. Actually,
What?
I'm gonna mess this to you in private, because it's funny.
No problem.
Better not be the fungal lord thing I sent you. Anyways, while he's PMing that, Dimitri will lead you both down into the lower hold so that he can show you the stuff. he's taking you to where the exosuits are. Like basically leads you to one of the vats and just thumbs towards the actual armored combat version. It didn't seem to be moving as far as we could tell until. Oh God, what? I don't want to know.
It's okay. You don't need to know.
I'm not going to need to know. Okay. I hear a song. Do I hear the song yet? No. Anyways, okay. It wasn't moving anything in our realm, but Asuka. Well, once we started looking in that particular realm, we saw that it was moving. It seemed to be inhabiting the suit or its reflection in that side.
Well,
do you know? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you've heard what it is, so makes sense.
Has he? Or like, did you say that he said everything that was?
Yeah, that's Arthur would have said everything that Jason just said.
Okay.
I mean, that Tiger said about the machine. So.
Because say Jason's a badass lore feat. Okay, so Dimitri will just kind of nod slightly, like, huh. Okay, my next question, what the hell is autochthonio? Sounds like an amusement park for cars.
I'll do a cosmology roll. Is that acceptable, Brett?
Yeah.
Cosmology, the thing I didn't take because I'm not a void engineer.
That's enough. Autochthonio is the plane of machinery.
Plane of machinery, dude.
What?
Plane of machinery, dude.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know, like the machine.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense then. It didn't seem to be very clear about what it wanted. It just... It told Asuka it wanted her to prove herself. Which Asuka seemed to think that meant design a better exosuit, but I don't think from its reaction that's entirely what it meant. At least not specifically.
Spirits tend to be vague. They're not always very forthcoming. Unlike, Proteus.
Yeah. Arthur just like, yeah, and then someone will just tell you right to your face you're a fuck up.
You mean he kind of nods his head up towards the sky?
No, she's pretty direct, but you get some that are direct, like, the mother Gaia. Some of the more forceful war totems. You get some that are pretty enigmatic, like Chimera or Tenna, or
It strikes
Coyote.
me that...
Or then you get the ones that you can't talk to or else they'll rip your heart out, like, say, Wendigo or Fenris.
Isn't a Wendigo some sort of cannibalistic creature in Canada?
Yeah, the legend of the Wendigo comes from the clan father of the Wendigo tribe.
I don't remember a Native American tribe named Wendigo.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't. You would have been eaten if you had.
Oh, that kind of tribe. Yes, that makes more sense. Okay. He looks a little bit nauseated at the thought. Not like at talking about shifters, but more about the you being eaten thing. It is something that he worries about. And this is where it turns out I bought the Dark Fate flaw. Anyways, so don't take this the wrong way, but I was wondering, not so much specifically regarding what's going on with Asuka right now, but you seem to have a firm grasp of other realms. Kind of like waves his hand slightly.
Yeah. That's an understatement. If not for the fact that Jolie were the world, I'd probably be the world.
Understandable, but Jolie often is. Well, I don't know that Jolie has the ability to take groups with him into that realm.
He can at personal cost.
Well, any sort of magic, I suppose, would be costly, the way folks seem to do it around here.
Mm-hmm.
But perhaps there might be some way to arrange a. I'm not thinking about, shall we say, an adventure. I'm not that ambitious, but some sort of experimental trip. It might help the people here actually get a grasp of what's out there. Nothing dangerous, nothing. I don't have anything specific in mind because I don't know what's out there, but
If you don't want something dangerous, you shouldn't be go fucking around in the Umbra at all.
Not the Umber, not the Shadowlands, not the Dreaming. Well, actually, I don't think I could actually get you into the Dreaming. I think if I tried, you'd get spit out into a different part of the Umber.
that's been discussed a few times. Yes. Um, just to make sure, the dreaming is that thing the Fae are always talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. No. Please. No. Um, but look, anything is dangerous, but it would be, I think, easier for some of us to grasp a little bit of it if we were to actually take a look, even if it were a momentary look, like go out and then come back 5 minutes later. And if we had someone such as you and Jason here, we might be a little bit better protected. I am not asking for your guarantee of our personal safety. Anyone who takes a trip like that is, well, it is a risk.
We'll just look at Arthur. I'm what, 2 for 2 now?
Yeah, you've done pretty well with your ability. I don't know. Have you tried taking other people in?
You mean?
Yeah.
I can't even get there myself. I have to have help.
Oh, see, is he still level 2?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, then, yeah. Arthur right now is the only person that can. Without, except for...
Cordelia would have
Yeah,
trouble with
because
it.
even Tokugawa can't.
Yep. So, do you think it might be possible at some point? I'm sure we could arrange some sort of suitable compensation.
Arthur will look deep in thought.
I don't know if Castle King is personally too interested in the matter, but I am. I've been trying to study what little Asuka's learned.
I wouldn't want to... What's the best way to say this? There's the chance that I could unfortunately get somebody stuck there.
How would that happen? If you don't mind my asking.
Well, I have to beat the gauntlet to get you over there. I'd have to beat it to get you back too.
The gauntlet, is that, you mean the barrier between worlds, I'm guessing, as it's called? Or the veil, or whatever?
Yeah. The gauntlet. The gauntlet is what separates the Umbra from the real world, just as the wall or the shroud separates the Shadowlands from the real world. And from what I understand, if that shroud ever gets pierced completely and left open, it's a bad thing for us, a good thing for the Giovanni, apparently.
Huh.
Like I threatened to do that to someone and asked Buccarati if that would be a good idea, and he said, "Well, if you did that, I'd have to induct you right into the clan." I'm like, "Yeah, let me not do that then."
No, I think that would be a rather large step backwards.
Yeah.
Um, let's say we accept that as a risk. I mean, we can bring enough supplies to keep us, I don't know, alive for a day or so. If that were to happen, we'd stay in whatever place we were and wait for rescue, assuming that it were possible, which I know you can't guarantee.
First
Yeah.
off, time is weird in the Umbra, so what feels like a day to you could be like 100 years to everyone else, or vice versa. Second off, there's no guarantee they're going to be able to find you. Third
This is
off,
true.
as you stay in the Umbra, it starts to fuck with you more and more.
Arthur will wave his hand, point to his hair, point to his eyes, point to his skin.
Well, I can see that would be interesting. I don't think I would inherit quite those qualities. I'm guessing mine would be of a different nature, but
Well, mine was due to being in close proximity to spirits of Luna as well as Luna herself.
so if it were these spider things, I might start growing multifaceted eyes or something crazy like that. Lovely.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
As long as I don't grow antennae. In any case, I would still be willing to try it myself, if nothing else. I mean, are there places where it's easier for you to reach the other side?
Yeah. Any wild aspected node I could push you through, and you wouldn't even have to walk through.
Is that go ahead.
Places of nature as well.
Well, the only what you would call node that I've heard of is that one people keep mentioning being underneath the museum. That's the only one I'm aware of. Is that suitable or not?
That one wouldn't. That one is still unaspected, and I'm going to keep it that way. More to the fact that it's currently under the watchful protection of all four houses.
So using it for our own purposes would be bad form. Understood.
Highly bad form, considering what I had to go through to make sure that the Fae didn't try to take it as their own. The Guru didn't try to take it as their own. It's owned by a vampire.
Yes, I can see your point. So, do you know of another location that would be suitable?
No, but I can build one because Arthur's not taking him to the glade.
Well, in that case, if you are able to do so, I would be personally indebted to you. A quick trip out and about might be interesting. I've never had the opportunity to travel off planet, as the phrase might be. Unless you count that little excursion with that Marauder artifact, which from what I understand, we didn't actually leave the Tellurian. We were put in some sort of bubble.
Arthur's going to look over at Jason. Quiet.
It seemed that way.
Mm.
There were no people other than mages in that realm. Everyone else vanished, but those people were still able to wander around and did not see us, as if we were separated.
All right, mage lore roll time.
It was in Flavius scene, out of character.
What? I know.
Yeah, okay.
I know. He tells me, but I mean, I'm the main ST for mage.
Yeah.
So Arthur's like, well, that makes sense. Marauders are trapped inside their own insanity. Sometimes it's a quiet, sometimes it's just the fucked up chemicals in their head. They have the ability to draw others into their quiet with them.
Yes, that's speaking of which, we should while we're on this topic, you've heard about the events with the Marauder recently that seems to have taken a liking to Cordelia.
Is this the same Marauder?
Yes, as I understand it. Apparently, there were a couple excursions after the one I was on. Castle King was on the second one, and he informed me of the events of that one when he got back. He was rather disturbed by what he saw. The third one I heard about far after the fact. I got my information from Cordelia and from Roger Crispin, who is apparently investigating the matter. He seems to have the idea that we should make some attempt at either healing this fellow or putting him on trial, one of the two. I don't think either event would be wise, and I tried to explain that to him.
Yeah, he needed to talk to me about it, about something. Maybe it's that.
It could be. This matter is at least a week or so old, but yes, I would find it rather. I didn't know they had the ability to drag others down, but I know the standard policy with that sort of deviant, no offense intended, is no contact, shoot on sight, or hope that it leaves. Granted, that's what we do with many things, but in this case, it was rather more emphatic.
Well, the problem is, I don't know the whole situation with this marauder. It could very well be he has no clue what he's doing. At that point, it'd be shooting a dog in the head for biting its owner after the owner beat it with a stick.
The way it was explained, according to both Cordelia and Roger, Roger apparently spoke with the individual at length, which I found a little disturbing also. He claims that the individual in question was tortured by persons unknown, and Roger seems to think that means that he is innocent of any wrongdoing, even though he only has the entity's word on it. And if the creature is insane, then how do we know that's not some sort of delusion?
Well, we need somebody with some mind magic to go into his head and figure out the truth. The only problem with that is you're opening yourself up to the person's own insanity.
Yes, which doesn't strike me as a good idea. The strongest we have in terms of mental magics here would be Asuka. I'm just picking up the basics myself. He kind of taps his forehead. I don't know anyone else, except for that fellow that you had rip open my mind that one time.
Which person was that?
I have a character I don't even remember.
Master Desal.
What, was it Desal?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think Jones came with him, though.
Yeah. No, it was Desal and Jason that were there.
So. Okay.
Yeah, we're there because Arthur did his little ring of truth thing with entropy.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah. Dimitri knows who that is now, so he's like, yeah, it's Master Desal.
Well,
but I wouldn't want to risk someone of that stature on something like this. As I understand it, the city's already lost its strongest magician. Why would we want to lose our second strongest?
that's a very good point. The only thing I could think of is that, well, Desal might have experience with this. He has lived a very long time.
Well, does anyone know him rather well? Out of character, he does not know that Jason is his apprentice. He still hasn't been told that.
Arthur's going to cast a glance over to Jason.
Jason's just doing that.
You know the fellow? I mean, you arrived here with him the other time, or not here, but you understand what I'm saying.
He's my mentor.
Ah! Congratulations. It's always nice to have someone in upper management watching out for you. So, does he have a number we could reach him at and ask him about this matter? I mean, again, I only have third-hand accounts of events like this. I just don't like the idea of inviting something like that into our area, especially when, if it's insane, there's no way to ensure that it will remain peaceful. For that matter, do we even know if the wards would affect it?
I mean, I can call him. It's not a big deal. Assuming he's not resting off the paradox he had to deal with.
Arthur's like, yeah, I just got done with my own, and from what I understand, he took a lot more than I did.
Is Jason going to try calling him?
Yeah, he'll try giving him a call.
Right.
As soon as you try to dial, you just hear this 7 days. Wait, sorry. Wait, no, what? Damn it! I thought we got rid of that. Sorry, just kidding.
Alright, so you try call DeSalle, it'll get picked up on the 5th ring. Jason, sorry about that. I was in my node. What's going on?
We have a marauder or something, and somebody wants to try and cure its insanity.
You just hear a, oh god, why?
Is he on speakerphone, or can we hear any
No,
of this, or we would need to
he would
shoot
not.
here? Okay, just checking.
I'm gonna need another 2, maybe 3 nights to get rid of all the docs I suffered on the last time I went out and helped out people. So I will just say this. Marauders do not suffer paradox. They suffer others to have paradox. That's why we tend to stay away from them. I do not know if it's possible to cure Marauder's insanity. I know that many have tried in the past, and only a few have been successful, particularly those of the Akashic who are able to instill peace into their minds. If this Marauder has a defect of its own mind, it is possible to be cured. If this Marauder is under the sway of its own quiet, then the quiet has to play out for the Marauder to come back.
So ask the Akashics? Is that what I'm hearing?
Akashics would have a better understanding of the mind than any of ours. And yes, I am. And he'll say, and yes, I understand that doesn't exactly fly with the Order of Hermes thought process.
You know me, I've always been this kind of, you know.
And can I do a mage lore shit with well, it wouldn't be mage lore. I don't think it'd be RD mages. To know anything about the Akashics offhand?
Yep, you can go ahead and roll that.
Two successes.
Out of character, I kind of wanted you to botch so I could just start like reading from the Order of Hermes tradition.
Oh, nice.
No, the Cult of Ecstasy tradition book, even better.
You're like, oh shit.
The Akashic Brotherhood are ascetic monks who practice their own form of meditation, exercise, and focus. They are probably the most disciplined with the Order of Hermes tied as far as their magical practices. They do not let anything disturb their meditations. They're also quite adept at fighting. Typical R&D status on them is if you come across an Akashic Brotherhood. If you come across a member of the Akashic tradition, odds are good they're not going to do anything to you first. If they need to be apprehended, do so. If they need to be killed, do so.
Okay, that's a pretty standard encounter. He'll just kind of tilt his head slightly when he hears Akashic and just be like, yeah, it makes sense there'd be some of those in this area, but he just kind of shrugs slightly. Like, before Jason has a chance to hang up, he just kind of speaks up, raises his hand. What I want to know specifically is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad an idea would it be to try and arrange a large-scale meeting with this individual, or put it on trial, or try to cure it with a bunch of other people who don't know what the hell they're doing standing around? And he's probably speaking loud enough that DeSalle can hear him.
Wait, he wants to take the paradox magnet and put him around other mages? Did I scramble something when I dived inside his head?
No, I think he was always like that.
Tell him to keep the paradox magnet away from our people.
Alright. And he'll just kind of tuck the phone on his chest and look at Dimitri. Keep the paradox magnet away from our people. Master Assault 2016.
He just like tilts his head slightly. He's like, "That was rather what I thought the answer was. All right, then someone needs to tell Roger that." He didn't seem to take the answer well from me. He seems to think it's his role to fix everything in the city.
He takes his job very seriously. It's one of the reasons why when he came back, I made sure he got his old position back.
I understand, and I fully applaud someone taking their job seriously in this city, but I've already spoken with him that I'm worried that if he takes a stance on every matter and tries to dust off his title at every opportunity, it's going to send some people the wrong message, and he may not be taken seriously on occasions when he should. That's part of why I've tried to avoid using my own title. Yes, I've got the seat of judgment. Most of the people I encounter don't even realize I do, so they say whatever the hell they feel like saying, which lets me hear things.
Well, I'm going to let him do his thing. That's just me, though. I don't step on people's dicks.
Oh, please do. Yeah. In character, he just nods and goes, I understand. I tried speaking with him about it. He didn't take the message too well, but I think he'll get over it. In any case, so make sure that we keep that thing away from anything important. And I would assume it's a good idea to keep it away from a node, yes?
Yes, because they have absolutely no control and they'll suck one dry.
All right, then. I think it's a priority to keep that thing away from the museum. I'll make sure to pass that along. So no noble sacrifices and running off to try and cure this thing. But if anyone wants to talk to the Akashics, I suppose that's a plan. But, you know, does anyone know any of them in the city?
Nah, they tend to keep to himself from what I've seen.
Out of character, do we even have an Akashic in game?
Nope.
Not a PC. Actually, not an NPC right now either.
Oh my god. So wait, the temple's empty?
No. There's a bunch of no names, but, you know.
Yeah.
No named NPCs. Great. That's going to be fun.
I'm working on it, chill.
It's all good. Okay. With that, is Desal still on the line? Or?
Yeah, unless you've hung up with DeSalle, he's still there, like tapping his foot.
Keeping your master waiting, man.
Is there anything else you want to ask him?
Dimitri hesitates, thinking to himself, should I ask him what color his wizard hat is? Nope, I like living. He just shakes his head.
DeSalle's like, well, if you need anything else, you know where to reach me. Just expect it to be a bit, since I have to make my way out of the node room.
Yeah, I might pop over later. That's cool.
He'll nod, and that'll be fine. Are you holding up okay?
I've spent most of this week drunk off my ass. No.
Oh wait.
I realized what I did was a little harsh. I apologize for that, but I felt that if I did it myself without you involved, it may have been worse.
What was that, Brett? I'm sorry, I missed that last bit.
He's like, I realized that what I did was harsh. However, I got the feeling that if I had just done it myself, you would have taken it even worse, and we wouldn't be on speaking terms.
I'm not blaming you. It's just kind of hard to take burning away the last tie to your old life in stride.
I understand.
It needed it to be done, but that doesn't make it any easier.
Dimitri, by the way, is just awkwardly poking at Cabal while this is going on.
He'll say, my son's wife was an Nefandus too. And I wasn't able to prevent her killing him. I wasn't able to prevent her from killing my grandsons either.
Jason's just kind of... He doesn't really know what to say to that.
But I did what had to be done.
So.
And it's always hard. You'll get over this, Jason. I have faith in that. And when you're ready, we can continue your training.
Yeah. I was gonna go talk to Unicorn, but I don't know. Still.
Well, I'm sure Unicorn could use your company as well.
Why's that? Ship been going down in the Umbra?
No, but there haven't been many visitors to him since the Sept got stopped.
Understandable.
I don't even think Walks the Narrows has been there to visit him. And I'm not exactly one of his favorite people.
I mean, makes sense, but I don't know if you pissed him off personally or if it's just because you're you.
He is a spirit that respects and reveres life. I am a mage that excels at blowing things up. We don't fit well.
I mean, I seem to have a good relationship with him.
Yes, but you're you.
Sure. I'll let you go, Matthew. Thank you.
Very well. Have a pleasant evening. As pleasant as you can. And he'll hang up at that.
Oh, shit. Didn't get a chance to say anything. God damn it.
What were you going to say?
I was going to ask him about that murder that apparently happened in front of the observatory. Be like, something I need to know? Any help you need or anything?
Trust me, that still needs to be inspected. So.
Okay, no worries. Alright, so once Jason's off the phone, Dimitri is literally just standing there trying to look busy, poking at Cabal's interface. Probably just poking him in the eye repeatedly.
Cabal's going to be like, will you stop that, please?
I will once I build you a body.
Yes, build me a body, build me plenty of bodies. Let me out of this cage.
I'm good. I think we'll stick with one right now, and if you're lucky, it won't be 6 foot. It won't be 6 inches tall and speaking in a high octave voice. He's obviously joking, though. He's just like, I'll build you one, but it's not going to be a combat model at first. People have to get used to you. Also, bear in mind, any body I make you can't house your entire intelligence. It'll simply be a remote puppet.
Puppets are fun.
I wish you wouldn't say that while you're looking at us like that.
The face will just smile.
He always smiles. Anyways,
That smile is unnerving, though.
oh god, yes it is. Anyways. At that, Dimitri will just kind of shake his head slightly and say, all right, well, since that's been settled, so yes, if you can find a good time in the future, myself, possibly Asuka or Castle King, if they're interested in it, I suppose Asuka would be. I can still, he kind of like taps his head again. I can still see them actually right now, which actually I gotta ask you guys as STs. Can I see data spiders and shit then?
How?
Because I still have that spirit sight thing on for like the next couple weeks.
That's true. Like she got
Yeah.
her data tests
Yeah,
on
that's
it.
true.
She scored the same with Asuka, so we're basically good until a month after the after that scene. So, are there data spiders wandering around and shit?
Yeah, because there's actual communication going around. They look very normal.
No corrupted ones. Good, because then my wards would have sucked. Dimitri just kind of looks at them and goes, "Is it weird that I want to make one of these a pet?"
One of what?
I mean, not as in like they look kind of harmless.
They are for the most part until you run into their bigger, uglier, meaner brothers with a prison record.
What are you guys talking about?
These little he points at like nothing. He's pointing at like the energy cables and stuff. He's like the little spider creatures.
Arthur's gonna look at him and say, "Throw up your spirit sight, and you'll be able to see them too."
I did it.
Don't tell me what to do. Sorry, I'm channeling Jason there. Okay, I think he got a lot of successes.
Yeah, those things. Yeah. Oh, I saw. Oh, I didn't. What am I talking about? What did I see? Shit.
And if you're throwing spirit sight up, yeah, there are data spiders running around the place.
But at least they're the non-corrupted variant.
Mm-hmm.
How much bigger are these bigger ones you're talking about?
Let's see. The head will look like a Volkswagen, but will be the size of a Volkswagen bus. The body will be the size of a Zeppelin, but completely made out of steel. And the legs will look like they're composed out of steel beams.
That's rather large.
Yeah.
Are there any in between?
The net spiders. But if you piss one off, it'll crystallize you.
That sounds painful. Oh, speaking of which, there's something
Crystallization means that your entire form gets turned into crystal.
It's funny you should mention crystals. I wanted to show you something. I can't imagine why I didn't show it to you the last time you were here.
Because a lot of stuff was going down and there was a Tengu with us.
Yes. Well, he might have liked this. He just like leads you over. He's got what looks like it's a mulch pit. There's like refuse, some soil, a little bit of manure of questionable origin. Probably doesn't smell good at all, but it's like it's very hermetically sealed in its own area. It's not like just cluttering the area. OCD cleanliness. He'll just point, and there's what looks like a crystal shard, and it's green, and it's glowing, and it's halfway buried in the muck, and it's got like little crystalline tendrils coming out of it, and it's like pulsing very slowly, like slower, far slower than a heartbeat, just like.
Yep. He's just like,
It's also alive, by the way, and is giving off heat. as well as light.
Throwing up multi-scan. So I'm scanning it for spirit, life, entropy, and prime.
Spirit, it was based off of a type of luminescent cave fungus originally, so whatever spirit a luminescent cave fungus would have, which is not much. Life-wise, it is, again, you might be able to tell this is an altered thing. It's been heavily techified and stuff, but it's basically sucking, nutrients and stuff out of the soil, and it's doing so way faster than a plant should. Like, if you were to do this with a tree, the tree would grow very fast, and the ground under it would go dead. Like, that's why he's, like, piled manure and mulch and all this super nutrient-rich stuff under it. It's turning all of that energy into light heat. It's binding a lot more energy in the crystal than is visible. Like, if it were to release it all at once, it would be actually kind of a neat power source. Or a dangerous one, but, it seems to be very well controlled and stable.
There's just looks at it and it's like,
Out of character, by the way, I only made one of these, and I still need to find out from you as an ST, like, how long it takes these things to bud and create a new one, because they are supposed to, the way he designed them, they are supposed to grow and then have harvestable shards, which can be used either as energy sources, which we don't have the tech for yet, or to plant new ones.
I'm going to say it'll work like an actual node. You'll be able to get a bud a week, but harvestable shards would be a month until it grows to the right size.
So I get how many like enough to seed a new one? Because he's probably going to spend like the first couple weeks planting more of these, and then like start letting the older crops get harvestable and shit like that. I just keep track of it. But how long does it take? How many? Whatever.
It'll bud in a week.
Okay,
the bud will grow to harvestable size to where it can be replanted in a month. At the end of every month.
Oh, okay. So it's not. So we can't use this. Okay, so there's a bud visible now, but that bud is, if he breaks it off, it's useless.
If you break it off before it's reached its harvest, every week a new bud will form. But
Okay.
the bud has to grow to the point where it's absorbed enough energy to where it can be used or replanted. That'll happen each month.
Okay. So at the end of the month, we'll have something to work with. Gotcha.
Yeah.
In that case, you can probably see there's already a bud or two that's formed at this point, because we did this like 2 weeks ago or something like that. So, yeah. You'll see that there are buds starting to form. They might be bigger crystals later.
Arthur's just looking at it like, I don't know if I should be impressed that you learned how to create new life or abhorred at the fact that you created a mockery of life.
I wouldn't say you should feel offended. This is actually a very clean form of energy. And it's not like I wouldn't want to have this, well, it wouldn't exist in the wild. It's not consensus viable in that sense. But, well, he kind of hesitates, like, it is and it isn't, But I wouldn't want to test it. Either way, it's just an energy source. A very, very handy one. It's still alive. The fact that he's turned it into an abomination has not even crossed his mind. Somewhere in there, the spirit of the cave fungus is like, "Help me! Kill me!"
So Arthur sees it as abhorrent, so
Okay,
he's
I don't think
better and all natural.
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is like techified natural. So,
Yeah.
Good. All right. Research just like, well, if it's not to your taste, it's not to your taste. But I figured this might be a valid fuel source in the future.
You just have to get the consensus to agree to that, and you'd be golden.
I think that's a long ways off, and if I tried, it would be like holding up a big neon sign. Speaking of, by the way, again, I apologize for your arrival here being delayed, but I take it that means it's actually doing its job, right? Keeping people from randomly visiting the place?
Yeah.
Oh, then that's
Speaking
good.
of which, that whole thing with the cops, the one you told me about, is it okay?
Out of character. Out of character. You're talking about the when the HKPF came by.
Yeah.
He just smiles and said they didn't find anything of interest. That was before the ward ever came up. If the ward had been in place, I don't think they would have ever made their way here. They would have been bored or been distracted. But anyways, um, they found nothing suspicious. I convinced them that it was a simple misunderstanding, and he kind of like grins. And I got one of their phone numbers.
He'll just shake his head at that.
I'm still not pleased that it happened in the first place, though, but I understand it was a mistake. Um, I informed Hikaru about that incident. He said he had a talk with Finn about the matter.
Yeah, you see, he said that he could hack stuff. I made the mistake of thinking he could hack stuff well.
Well, it's not that he didn't hack it, as I understand it. It's that he hacked it and didn't cover his tracks,
Yeah,
which is just as
I
important.
would thought that would have been, um, you know, a requirement of hacking.
It is. You might not believe it, but Asuka, myself, and Castle have already done a little bit of that since we arrived. And surprise, surprise, nothing ever came to our door. At least not to do with that incident. He's not telling you details, obviously. He's just like, yeah, we've done it. Well, of course, we're not hacking government security sites. I don't think that would be a good idea under the circumstances. Though, remind me to show you an idea I had at some point. Well, actually, you know what? I might as well show you now. Here, tell me if you can follow this train of thought here. I figured this might be a good ace in the hole, and you two are people who should know about it. Imagine this. If we were, as I understand it, anyone who attempts to hack the Hong Kong police force or anything similar, even if the unenlightened, shall we say, the masses, don't notice anything, the technocracy will, and they'll follow up on it. And it's a lot harder to prevent them from following the tracks. Right?
Right.
So, let's say we leave a trip. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hearing audio from someone's end. Sorry. My bad. So, imagine then if we leave a trail that only one of their sort could follow. We route everything through a specific device, essentially a router, placed somewhere else on the planet, probably in some abandoned Wi-Fi location. And essentially, the first time a connection is made with this device, everything runs as normal. When we're done, we do our best to clear up our tracks, shut down the connection. When they connect to it, it shunts a giant surge of electricity in their direction. He just kind of smiles.
Please.
I'm not. Sorry, go ahead.
Please tell me you're not going to try to draw attention to the Sabbat again.
No, this has nothing to do with that. And as I said, this is not something I'm planning on doing anytime soon. This is simply a ace in the hole that could be of use should we ever get to the point of making a move against the technocracy, far away though that day may be. From my understanding, from speaking to Asuka on the matter, their standard attempt to access a computer system at range would leave them vulnerable to this. Energy can travel in both directions as far as electricity goes. and they might not be prepared for a strike of that nature. Again, I'm not suggesting we do this just randomly to be spiteful. This would be a planned event in the future. I wouldn't want to do this and draw down the wrath of, well, like, kind of nods his head in the direction of a Novatech.
Yeah, they're paying probably paying more attention now. Oh, by the way, I did hide those grenades.
Oh, good.
I don't want people dying because of some device that one of ours wants to make popular.
Well, you have the grenades that were left at the Emerald Mother, as I understand it. What about all the ones she's apparently still making?
She handed me. I don't know if she's still making them or not, but from the feeling I got, nobody that's a foreigner should be trying to make any contact with them, let alone her.
No,
it wouldn't be so bad if not for the fact that she just
randomly walked up to people and started asking where to find the triad.
And didn't stop.
By the way, the same individual who gave us a message before, Mr. Zahn, who's apparently of the House of Cups, but he's a local. I don't understand the distinction, except they're what's called the Hessian.
They work on a different wavelength than the Fae do. I've actually talked to the Mandarin a couple times. Had to save him at one point.
Well, he did follow up at some point and ask at the museum if there was, if she had gotten the warning or not. I don't know if that means she's still asking or what, but
I told her. I explained it to her, and I hope Serena's gotten the message, because if she hasn't,
she's apparently going to be clubbed over the head and dragged into an alley someplace, and that may be the last we see of her.
Apparently she wants to talk to Bainu, and she wanted me to give these to Bainu. And from what I understand of Bainu, I mean, I haven't talked to the kid, at least not for very long. I did hear his scream when he first, woke up, and that was unpleasant.
What is this Bainu?
He's a member of the House of Cups. He's also a 6 foot tall, 6 foot 3 inches tall, 320 pound solid muscle, 17-year-old with the mind of a 10-year-old.
Oh, is he like that tank fellow?
He's a troll-like Tank, I think so, but I don't know Tank very well.
Well, no, I simply meant a troll. Yes, that's what they're called. I can't see anything about that myself, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. All right, so that's established then.
But if I know how uncomfortable the Fae get around technological items, I can't imagine this kid would fare much better with these things.
Yes, though they apparently have their own tech, which is interesting. They have that one fellow I met at the museum, Nathan, I believe his name was.
Oh, Nathan, yeah. I think it less technology and more artifice.
Yes, but it is something. It accomplishes the same effect in many ways, but it is an interesting distinction.
Yeah, but that's like saying that a gun that shoots lightning bolts is the same thing as a wand that shoots lightning bolts.
I mean, if you want to get technical, just about everything's technology. Wheels, houses.
Yeah, that's
broomsticks, technically. All right. Well, if that's established, out of character. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think. There was something else. It was on the tip of my tongue. Shit. Well, if I can't remember it after 10 seconds, it's probably not important. And Dimitri will just kind of shrug a little bit. Well, wait, no, Arthur was asking about the cops, and then he was asking about the grenades. We were talking about. Oh, yes, I remember now. There we go. I had to follow the train. So, in regards to these Hessian, apparently they have some sort of fascination with jade.
Yes.
Um,
Almost
I know from talking with Flavio that jade has something to do with chi.
Jolie.
Sorry, Jolie. Because
Okay,
Jolie and I have discussed jade before, and especially the trinkets that he uses when he's in the Umbra or the Shadowlands to get out in a hurry requires breaking a jade trinket that's been infused with chi.
I was offered essentially whatever the hell I wanted by a few of their number to make some or acquire some. I don't think they realize I can make it. I'm still not sure what to do about that offer. I don't want to cause ripples, but I won't lie, they offered quite a bit. I could charge them a literal fortune for a statuette the size of my thumb.
Don't go pissing people off. I will say though that the jade that Flavio had looked pretty expensive, and he snapped it like it was nothing. But then again, he was being threatened by something bigger and stronger, and technically a Malfian. So it was good. It was probably worth it to get out of there.
Dimitri just kind of looks over at Cabal with the obvious thought of, what the hell could drive me to break Cabal? And then dismisses that thought because that's kind of scary. Plus, Cabal will probably glare at him. Well, I might make a small amount. Actually, if you, well, it wouldn't be me making it anyways. It would be Asuka with a little bit of input from me. But, I mean, Jade is a, I was able to look up the information for Jade in about 5 or 10 minutes of surfing Google. So it's not that complicated. It has a chemical composition. We even know what kinds of impurities create the various varieties. I might try making a little bit at some point with her and see what we can come up with.
Just be careful. I've dealt with the Hessian, and they are, if they expect you to be on your word, yet they don't always honor their own. However, when I've dealt with the Mandarin and his people, they seemed very, very good at what they do. Very noble, very honorable.
Huh. Well, I'm not planning on cheating, though, if that's what you... I will charge them. I may want a high profit margin, but I'm not going to give them, like, colored glass or anything of that nature. I'm not stupid.
That's good. Stupidity doesn't work very well.
Mm. Well, in any case, I think that covers just about everything. Let me know if you have any information on being able to take a little field trip in the future, and I'll see who I can gather together.
All right, just be sure that whoever you bring with, I'm probably gonna want you guys to sign, trip waivers and things like that, just to make sure that if you guys get owned in the Umbra, it's not my fault.
He just kind of looks at you like if you're actually serious about writing a waiver.
Arthur just seems to look like completely there.
Huh. I suppose if that's what makes you feel comfortable. Anyways, actually, with that, because I can tell people are getting a little bit tired and stuff, do we want to call the scene there? Just assume there's a little bit more chit chatting and maybe off camera getting them keyed in through the wards, assuming we get Ben's permission on that, which I'm pretty sure they grant for you two.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay. All right. Sweet. That way, next time you guys will be able to figure it out. But bear in mind, they're not going to keep Proteus in, so there will be hilarious shenanigans next time. You both will be like, "Damn it, Proteus, that way." What? With that, are we good?
Yep. Thank you, players, for playing. I don't know if you had any watchers, but thank you for watching if you did. Another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards. And more Umbral shenanigans in the future, apparently. Have a good night.